guys, Val Crissey here, more Fugal fans. Let me just give you an update on not going to Area 51. We're now told there are 2.5 million people that are going to the Area 51. And so one has to be aware that there are all kinds of weapons today. There's a radio frequency thermal weapon, a new type of radio frequency weapon has been developed by the US military labs. It has the capability to affect its human target at a considerable distance, even though through a solid wall. One variation of this weapon would allow a team to focus the radio frequency weapon at anyone through a wall, through a car, causing the body temperature to rapidly rise as high as 107 degrees. The target will become sick and disoriented, and therefore disabled. If the weapon's radio frequency radiation was not disabled or turned off quickly, the target would die. So decades of research have completed on the effect on humans from exposure to radio frequency, like that wonderful 5G that we're all getting. However, putting ourselves in a position to go to Area 51 to find the UFOs, there are other ways to do that today. There's also a slippery foam that is now available too. A new method to achieve crowd control is available through the use of a slippery foam. Volumes of foam bubbles can be shot from a cannon or a large hose at an unruly crowd. The foam makes the surface super slippery, making it impossible to walk or stand. The disabled participants at a demonstration or invasion can then be arrested. There's another variation that alters the chemical composition of the foam to make it sticky. When sprayed on an area, it's almost impossible for the people to escape. Their shoes, clothing, and even their flesh stick to the surface. So again, this is a deterrent regarding going Area 51 or having any strange invasions, because our country and government is well equipped to handle these sort of things. There are other countries too which has another weapon, a psychotronic weapon. The scientists have developed a psychotronic weapon that uses electromagnetic radiation to secretly attack the mind and nervous system of a human target at a distance. This has devastating results. There's an article in the Atomic Scientists that describe these weapons. These weapons, psychotronic generators, which produces electromagnetic emanations, can be sent through the telephone lines, it can be sent through the TV, it can be sent through the radio, or even light bulbs. So again, the weapons that are available today with our technology, it's just impossible for people to get totally unruly and creating any kinds of unnecessary problems for themselves. Okay, on another note, I wanted to discuss with you Israel and who Israel really is. Okay, the enormous territory, over 500 times larger than Israel, almost 3 times larger than the size of the continental United States. In addition, the Islamic nations own vast oil reserves that could easily provide the wealth to facilitate the building of Palestine. Despite this incredible imbalance between the tiny Jewish state and the overwhelming power and territory of their Muslim opponents, many debates, conferences, and resolutions are passed every month against the nation of Israel by many international organizations, including the United Nations. The leaders of these nations recognize that if the prophesied Battle of Armageddon ever starts, it will almost certainly begin in Israel, Jerusalem, the spiritual home of 3 major religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It captures the focus and attention of the world governments and citizens. 25 centuries ago, the prophet Zechariah foretold that the nations of the world would form a huge alliance and attack Jerusalem and Israel in the last days. And if you want to do further research on this, you can go to Zechariah 14. Also in Zechariah 12:2-3, behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of drunkenness to all the surrounding people, when they laid siege against Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall happen in that day that I will make Jerusalem a very heavy stone for all peoples. All who would heave it away will surely be cut in pieces, though all nations of the earth are gathered against it. Now today, humanity faces the gravest crisis in our history. One path leads toward an abyss of unimaginable destruction. That could mean the end of human life on this planet, perhaps the end of history itself. The world is endangered by rampant nationalism and brutal ethnic hatred, and may be in the near future be equipped with the devastating power of nuclear, chemical, biological, and electromagnetic weapons, and could easily lead to the catastrophic horrors that may far exceed the worst terrors of the World War II. It's going to certainly exceed that. So we don't want a World War III. Another path leads towards a new world order that could quickly allow a future totalitarian government to extinguish human freedoms forever. A century ago, someone warned, absolute power corrupts absolutely. A strong argument can also be made that human freedoms and democratic choice can only prevail in a political system that permanently divides real power among different groups to create natural checks and balances between competing interests. However, current trends are leading us inexorably towards a totalitarian new world order in which all political, military, and religious power will be exercised by one supranational global institution that will inevitably be led by one supreme leader. The fundamental problem we face regarding the New World Order is that even if the first few leaders of the coming global government are benevolent in their intentions, history strongly suggests that eventually someone will rise to power who will have evil totalitarian intentions. According to the ancient prophecies of the Bible, that future dictator known as the Antichrist will achieve absolute political power over the global governments, enabling him to create a worldwide totalitarian dictatorship. In the coming New World Order, there will be no opposing independent nation states left, as whether America or the United Kingdom, to mount a military or political alliance against a totalitarian world government. There will be suffering citizens of such a worldwide dictatorial government. We don't want this, but somehow we seem to be going towards it, and the Bible prophesies that this will happen. It will definitely happen. Is this what our governments are preparing for? We're hearing about so many preparations in place worldwide, not just in the United States, but worldwide. Could this be what we're preparing for? The long, dark night of political and religious slavery? Our world would quickly descend into a black abyss of absolute totalitarian power beyond our darkest nightmares. The awesome new electromagnetic frequency, nuclear and biological weapons, together with the overwhelming new surveillance technologies of the coming one world government, will leave humanity without any realistic hope of revolution or political freedom. Unfortunately, the dreadful nightmare awaits humanity. We seem to be coming to the end of that road. The New World Order. And one can get to the Bible. It's a time for us to draw closer to Yeshua Messiah. Draw closer to God, because he says, some to captivity will go. Some to the sword will go. He also says in his word that there are people who will want to die. They'll run to the mountains, running everywhere, seeking death. But one thing that's promised to believers and his children, that he's going to protect them. In addition to that, most believers today are looking towards the rapture, or some call it the ascension, that we're going to be caught up in the sky to meet our Savior. He's not coming down. We're going to be caught up to meet him. And so believers will be taken out. So maybe we're just going to go through it halfway through the world government, but not totally, because it's going to be total darkness. Well, guys, I will continue and upload another video later today or tomorrow. And so I will talk to you again later. Val Crissey out.